What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're moving down. We're moving down a little bit, and that's okay. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I've been expecting a move down. We've been expecting a move down. I'm not the only one. You know, if you guys are in the Discord, you know that there are some people who thought this would continue going upwards. You could have been right. There are some people who thought it would have came down. You've been proven right to a certain extent, but it hasn't gone as low. Either way, whatever side you stand on, there's nothing really too significant either way to prove that we're going to go much lower and that we have finished going up for now, or even if we went up a little bit, we're still in an area of resistance. So I just want to say nothing too significant's happened, other than the fact that we do have a bearish engulfing candle. Well, the last time we had a bearish engulfing candle was down here, and boom, we went up, right? We had a bullish engulfing candle here. That was the relative top. We went down. So this Bitcoin Cash does like to lie to us. It does like to mess with us and pull at our heartstrings. You little beautiful coin. From low to high here, that's not really an area. Let's see. Yeah, I would think it wants to come lower. I would think that personally. And yes, my bearish bias precedes me. That kind of looks nice right there. Although, oh no, that's not even the low, so that's why that looks even better actually. It's hard to say. It depends on where you want to draw the fib, but I do think, in my opinion, I do think that we are going to go lower. This 382 down here is at about 216. I would think that we find some support in that area. We probably don't tip right off it. I would think that we go a little bit below it. Maybe down to like 210, 211, something like that. We could even go all the way down to these levels below $200 at around 190 to 195, something like that. Though I would more expect us to find support between these lines more so than between these lines, which normally I would consider this as like the sweet spot, and I think it is. But for the kind of circumstances of the market right now, I think finding support here might, in fact, be what we find. We could form a lower low. I'm going to delete this real quick, delete all this. Bitcoin Cash could go down and form a lower low than this, and I think still be fine in this grand scheme of things of higher lows. Something like that would put us closer to $200. We could, again, go below $200, and the price trajectory would be fine. I'm not going to play the game with this coin anymore. Once it gets down to 215, I'm buying. I am buying this thing. I've got buy orders set actually at 220, 215, and 210 right now. And I'm kind of I want to just like put all of it in at 215, but that's, I feel like whenever I do that, I always wish that I spaced it out. So I try not to do that too much anymore. Unless you're dealing with like smaller amounts of money, But even then, it's good to layer things, you guys. If you want to buy, let's say you wanted to buy now, you're really eager and you're like, oh, it dropped yesterday. It had a very big drop of 6%, which isn't really that big for Bitcoin Cash. One of the bigger candles we've seen recently, for sure, but still not that big of a candle. And, you might be thinking in your head, okay, this is a good time to buy here. Like, I want to go all in. Maybe take a chunk. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but maybe take a chunk and buy here. Wait a day. Wait a week. Wait something. Wait a little bit of time. See what it does. Buy more if it's at the same price. Whatever. But it's very rare that I go all in at one time and I'm happy about it. It's very, very rare. It's not that it doesn't happen. There are times where it happens. It could be now. You could put all your money into Bitcoin Cash right now. It goes all the way up from here. It could be one of those times. It's always possible. But more often than not, it's better to layer things. And then what happens too, if something were to take off without you, this is crypto. There is a lot of opportunity. There are other coins besides Bitcoin Cash, though. If you're like me, you're a little bit attached to it, I can understand why you'd want to get into it. So that's why, personally, I'm not playing the game with this. I was trying to catch the low. I missed it. I'm over that now, right? I was trying to catch the low down here at 140, or I had it at 145, so between 150 and 135 was where I was going to buy. But my biggest buy order was at 145. I'm done trying to catch the low. The low is in, and I missed it by a long shot. I did actually catch some on this low, but where I have most of my cash sitting on the side, it didn't go in on this low. It was about 40% of my cash that went in here. I'm going to put the rest of that in up here a little bit higher, which still, in the grand scheme of things, is like not that far up on this whole trend. Right? We're still right now below the 50% line. So you're still buying technically under half of this move, like to the lower half of this move. So I think that's still pretty good, you know. And then if you buy here and you wait a day or two and you buy some more the next day and it goes lower, you're just DCAing, bringing your dollar cost average down. It's always a good thing to do. I'm not going to talk about that too much more. Basically, you guys, you know, it's just the same old stuff that I feel like I keep saying, which is I think it is going to go down a little bit more. We form, you know, a higher low somewhere. This could be it, but I don't think that it is. I think that we do go lower. This is exactly what I was saying in my video yesterday, was that if we were to close today red, which yesterday being today, today being today, yesterday being yesterday, when I made my video around this time last night, I was saying that if this day could close red and we got out of this overbought zone, it would look like a double top in the RSI, and then this kind of bullish behavior, which this coming out of your overbought zone, bouncing on it like this, and then coming back into it, this is a very bullish setup. But whenever you get this kind of look right here, it's not so much a bullish setup anymore. And I think the only support that you have at the moment is this kind of trend line on your daily RSI right here. Oh, I didn't mean to delete it, but you guys saw what I was going for, right? Something like that. But I think it's going to give. I really do think it's going to give. I think that this right here, this is a topping signal, right? You kind of got the same thing here, right? Double top right here in the RSI. Not really so pronounced there. Kind of a double top, triple top here in the RSI. A little bit of a wonky, another one of those, you know, something like that. Double top-ish. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good example. Double top there. And you can go back and look and see how Bitcoin Cash does with those. It definitely doesn't perform well in the days preceding that. So I do think that it goes lower. It is completely possible, you guys. I don't think that it's likely. I personally have thrown out the idea of this thing going lower than this low. It is possible that Bitcoin Cash could go lower than that low and eventually see the ultimate price of like 135 to 150, somewhere in there. That is a possibility, but I don't think so, man. I personally don't think so. Volume's increasing as you're coming up here, which is just nice to see, right? You didn't have a lot of volume on this day down here, which means, I mean, in my opinion, the way I interpret that would be there's less interest in this thing going down. There's more interest in it going up. So I think that we're going to see that in the overall results of this downtrend, which is going to be a higher low. And even if we go below this low here, it's still going to be an overall macro higher, or not macro, but more intermediate, I don't know. More short-term higher low. Low here, higher low there. Go below that, you bounce off this line. I'd still consider that good, you know. We could be in this kind of trend right now, something like that. Just drawing those tops. It's not perfectly parallel, but it is kind of parallel, isn't it? So something like that. We could be in a channel ascending up right now. Something like that would make sense to me. And then whenever we break up and out of it, we could see a very explosive move that takes us above these highs. Now, I don't think, and I've been saying this for a while, I don't think that we're going to see a move that was this explosive. I don't think we're going to move like this in 2 weeks' time. I think it'll take more time. But by the end of 2024, if we stay in this channel, you know, the odds are that we would have a solid chance of getting above this area. And I was making in my last video a projection up to, I think I said 600 to 800 in my title, but I wanted to kind of clarify that today. If I haven't been confusing enough, I want to be a little bit more confusing. I think that 600 to 800 is possible by the end of the year, but I think first we need to pay attention to what we do between $400 and $500. So I'd like to kind of redact that and say, I know it's not so exciting, but guys, we're at $229 right now. If we go up to $400, $500, that's going to be awesome. If we go up to $398, that's awesome. So, you know, it's still good growth by the end of the year that is projected, but it just might not be as much as I was expecting. One way or another, it would not surprise me if we ended up being above this high by the end of the year. But at the moment, I am predicting that we go down. We go down. Let's see. Looking at this 4 hour, 4 hours got bearish divergence on it too, man. I mean, look at this, just like crazy. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. That's like triple bearish divergence. In a sense, it's kind of like just like one stint of bearish divergence. You have your peak area over here, peak area over here. But from a technical perspective, it's also kind of like triple bearish divergence. Not a good look. Definitely not a good look. You're in the weaker zones in your RSI right now, showing the price to back it up as well. You are above your purple line, and I don't have my long-term RSI, so I can't really look at that right now. Maybe I can adjust this real quick and just see. Let's see, 123. You are above your 50, but you're close. You're kind of close, man. If you go, you're at your 52. You could go below this. Yeah, man, that would be perfect, actually. I think that this might be one of those setups where you do go right to your 50 with your long-term RSI, something like that, right? Something like that, and then you bounce from there. And that would take the price right below this purple line, the 123 moving average, and then set you up for a scenario where the price is below the 123 moving average, but the RSI on the 123 is above the 50. And that generally, whenever you have that combination, signals a good buy. So you have been showing support on this 123 moving average, actually, and resistance even. So I think that would make sense, man. Something like that would imply that you don't actually go lower than this low. And that'd be crazy, man. That'd be great, because at that kind of look, you'd almost be in like a parabolic run. Like, kind of, right? Where you're getting these higher lows. They're not staying straight in a trend line. They're like curving upwards. And with parabolic runs, you guys, you just see phenomenal moves. Like, it seems like it's spectacular, and then you have like these big moves down, but then it just has an even bigger move up, and then a bigger move down, and then an even bigger move up. It's pretty cool to watch. It's very fun to be on board with. You know, something like this, I was kind of denying that it was a bull flag for a while, but it does kind of look like a flag. If it is a bull flag, we've broken out of this range. All we have to do now is kind of complete the pole going from this. I don't know if it's from this low. I don't know, from here to there. Let's be conservative. It's better to be conservative. And then to the point of break right there, that would take us up to about $700. Lines up with that range that we've been talking about. It's also in that previous area of resistance over here, you know, sitting right there at 755. Over here is at like 700 itself, stuff like that. So previous areas of resistance, it would all make sense. Pair that with the fact that if we take this top to bottom here, I guess it's in the middle of no man's land. So maybe we would go to the 1886, or maybe we do go all the way up to the 2272. Again, this could happen by the end of the year. It might happen sometime next year, but one way or another, I do think by the end of the year we're going to take out these highs. So I feel very confident in saying prices will be at least in this range by the end of the year, somewhere between about $400 to $500. That's all I got to say. That's really all I got to say today. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. I appreciate all the likes and subscribes. You guys are great. Not a whole lot has changed other than this potential bearish looking week and daily setup that we have right now. But overall, you know, I think that we're going to maintain these higher lows. We could take out this low and still be fine, but I'm kind of starting to wonder if we actually hold that low and we do form a higher low from there. I'm kind of wondering, honestly. I don't know, man. Maybe. Something like that. We're finding resistance right in there. Let's see if I can get it from the top, though. Yep. Support right down here. That's where we're bouncing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Time will tell, that's for sure. So, anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. Appreciate all the thumbs up. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.